Welcome and happy holidays from 2K Sports. It's time for NBA action. Moments away, it'll be the Los Angeles Clippers going up against the Brooklyn Nets at Barclays Center. Kevin Harlan here, and I'm joined by Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg with David Aldridge on our sideline. And taking a broader look here at the year-over-year scoring trend for James Harden.
And maybe it's shocking, maybe not too shocking, but the scoring trend over the last few years has been going down a bit. I'm sure it's something he's well aware of, and we'll see if that continues to be the case.
And with pregame routines coming to an end, we're just about ready for our tip-off. First, though, let's get a report from the sideline and say hello to David Aldridge.
Kevin, thank you. Kevin Durant is a champion, but he said, growing up, I never thought about titles. I just wanted to be the best player I could be. When I got to the league, I was listening to all the noise and it was taking control of my mind. For me, mentally, I have to just focus on my craft. Guys, the results have flown since then.
Clearly. David, thank you. And Greg, in terms of personnel, not exactly the matchups we were expecting to see.
And with all the injuries, some guys are stepping into some unfamiliar roles. But in some ways, that makes tonight all the more intriguing.
Here are the five for the Clippers. The guard spots filled by Jackson and George. Marcus Morris is out there with Ibaka. And it's Zubac in at the 5 spot.
Here we go.
And for the Nets, they've got Bembry, Mills out there with Harden. And it's Durant. And it's Aldridge in at the 5. Now, here is Harden. Really played well against the Clippers in his last outing. Aldridge, the pass to Mills. Here's Bembry. The feed now to Aldridge. Clock is at 3. Shoots over Zubac. And that one's good by Aldridge.
You know, you look at the mid-range game Aldridge has, it keeps the defense honest. They have to worry about a lot more than just his post game.
Outside, George finds the open look, and it's on target.
This is why I love his game. You really have to admire his tenacity.
Passes it to Bembry. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Aldridge sets up the pick now for Harden. Aldridge trying to break free. Harden, that's good.
Not many guys have a handle like James Harden. Exceptional for slicing up the defense.
And Harden really looks like he's been having fun out there.
I would agree with that, Kevin, and he says he's the same way off the court, too. I don't know him off the court, but he says he loves meeting new people. I don't have any trouble believing that. He enjoys engaging with kids. And certainly the bright tennis shoes are part of everybody's NBA attire now, but he wears it as an expression of his personality.
Fades away. And Durant gets it to go. The assist by Harden.
Boy, what a find. Harden's passing skill. Incredible. James did win an assist title, you know.
Here's George. That one, no good. And it's the Nets taking it the other way. Last time they met was in Los Angeles, where they beat the Clippers.
And whether by design or by accident, they drew so many fouls in that game. Foul trouble for the other side became a huge issue.
And as a result, there was a blowout win. I mean, credit them for initiating contact and forcing the officials to make the calls.
Now, here's Zubac. Harden missing his last shot. The 8-footer. And Zubac puts it in.
Well, I think this is the start they wanted. Come out and put some points up early. 3 of 4 so far.
Harden against Jackson. KD with it. He's as potent an offensive player as you're going to find in this league. He averages almost 30 points a game. Mills can't hit. And so George will bring it up for Los Angeles. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing that last matchup with Boston. Bucket is good.
Only 1 miss in the first 5 attempts, clearly feeling it.
Nets have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Ibaka against Durant. Aldridge sets up the pick now for KD. The 3. And that would have counted, but his shot was off the mark this time. A good close contest so far as we finish the first quarter. Clippers lead by 2. And the second quarter will get underway just after this short break. It's been a pretty even game here after one quarter of play. And guys, what's your take on the Clippers so far?
Well, in that first quarter, they were intent on just pounding the ball down low.
Yeah, and it's worked. They've got a clear edge and points in the paint. Now we'll see if they go with a more balanced attack or just keep on pounding it inside.
Last outing for the Nets. They won that game against the Clippers.
And you gotta love a team that can maintain its composure on the road, take good shots, and knock them down with confidence.
Well, efficiency is critical, and I love how they ran their offense and got quality shots out of their sets.
Brown out there with Johnson. Then it's Harden. Then there's Carter. And it's Griffin in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. Four on the clock. Here's Bledsoe. The rebound by Johnson.
Boy, he's got to be kicking himself for failing to make that shot. That's money.
All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Kawhi Leonard keeps it simple. He says, I'm trying to be the best player I can be. I'm happy with what I've done in my career, and I'm just going to keep on from there. It's not about being famous. It's about playing basketball and having fun on the floor. Well, he is famous, Kevin, and he remains focused.
Agreed, David. It has served him well. Thank you. Another shot. And another shot. He lays it in.
Yeah, you'd like to see more of this from Marcus. Attack that offensive glass and generate some points outside of those set plays.
And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play. And you look at some of the most unbreakable records in NBA history, Clark. Scott Skiles with 30 assists in one game. Who's going to beat that?
That's a hard one to top. I mean, 30 dimes in one game. I mean, that is just amazing. One, you got to pass it well, and two, you got to have great shooters around you. Westbrook had a game with 24 assists last year, but that's still a far cry from 30. I think that may very well be an untouchable record, Kevin.
Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played. The Clippers need to get off a shot. Kennard's shot is off. Brooklyn trailing with the step back. Here's Harden on the wing. Back to Griffin. And he hits it to tie the game up. Griffin's got his first points of the game.
And just the sheer power of Griffin, one of the best finishers in the league after contact.
From 13, the rebound by the Nets. Brown outside. Carter looking around. Here's Millsap. And trying for the go-ahead basket. It doesn't go in. Outside, Batum. Bledsoe outside. Kennard on the wing. Over Carter. No good with the wing jumper. Tie game in Brooklyn. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Here with Coach Teron Lue. Coach, what is the focus going to be in the second half?
Just play the right way. Move the ball, share the ball, get stops, and get out and run the transition.
Always leads to good results. Thanks, Teron. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
And as we welcome you to the studio, we call your attention to the top performers for each team in the first half. Question for either of you. Were there guys around the league you enjoyed matching up with?
You know what? I always like playing Shaq because he's so exceptional, and he presented such unique challenges. I even would say that, Keem, let me guard him sometime to make it even more challenging.
Well, I would love playing Kenny, Ernie. You know why?
Well, why?
Because he can't guard me.
And guys, moving on to the Brooklyn Nets. It's been an even game so far.
Well, I like what I'm seeing on the offensive end. They're keeping things simple, getting to their spots and executing. Nothing fancy, kind of like Shaq's suit.
And that is a wrap. Now let's send you back to Kevin Harlan for the start of the third quarter.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. Without question, George displaying his skills today.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
Yeah, you know what, guys? They gave him too many free runs to the hoop in the first half. I think they've got to be a lot tougher on him. Body him up. Be physical with him.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now. Brought to you by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. Taking a look at Los Angeles. The guard spots filled by Jackson and George. Ivica Zubac is out there with Ibaka. Here's Aldridge. Paul George making his last shot. Durant for three, and a great assist by Aldridge as that one goes in. Durant's got 5 points so far.
Focus, intense focus. Durant has bundles of it. Once he catches the rock, the first thing on his mind is let it go.
It's a chance now to catch up with the fourth member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, the Brooklyn Nets are creating a fresh legacy. Kevin Durant says it's new energy. We're one of the first teams in Nets history where fans are expecting us to do good things. The basketball culture is deep in Brooklyn, and they're looking for a team to latch on to. Well, guys, it looks like they found a good one.
I agree, David. Thanks. Here's George, following the basket by LaMarcus Aldridge. Now, here's George. He's tightly guarded. Misses the layup. He had him with that pump fake. The Nets with the lead.
And we all know what George brings offensively, but it's his ability as a defender that stands out. Great instincts to make plays on that end of the floor. Oh, an aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think.
That's exactly how you send it. Two hands and down.
Now, here's Zubac. He gives the team some steady offense, a bit under 10 points a game. On the wing, George. Fader on the way, and it's in. Basket number 6 for him thus far. He has only missed 2 shots from the floor.
That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
Harden scanning the floor. Aldridge with a screen on Ibaka. Outside Aldridge. Here's Harden on the wing. A reverse. Aldridge. Good.
Oh, wow. 4 of 5 to start the half. Coming out on fire.
Clippers trail by 3. Outside Jackson. Here's George. Sinks that one from the post. George has got 8 here in the quarter. A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. Now here's Durant. Aldridge sets up the pick now for KD. And the Nets, another 3.
You know, he's a good guy to have running that particular set. I mean, Durant is not a guy who makes a lot of mistakes in the pick and roll.
And so it's Kevin Durant making headlines and highlights for the Brooklyn Nets. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. Right back after this break. And how about a look now at our assist of the game? Brought to you by State Farm.
just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
And they'd love to see every possession end this way. True team basketball.
And I know I speak for all of us when I say I can't wait to see what kind of finish awaits us here in the fourth quarter. James Johnson is out there with Griffin. And it's Mills, and it's Durant, and it's Harden in at the 1. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. Durant, that's good.
Not shy from outside. There's no doubt about that. Spreading the floor and getting them up.
Love the mentality there, I tell you. I know I've never coached, but man, playing to win and being aggressive even with the lead as opposed to being safe and going into prevent offense, I'll take the former all day long. Play to win.
Here is Harden. Paul George making his last shot. Count it.
Yeah, you know, Mills is one of those energizing players who does a little bit of everything, including finding his open teammates.
Now George. The rebound by Johnson. Pass to Durant.
Fourth quarter.
Good on the shot. And it's a 9-point Nets lead.
Yeah, you know, at first glance, you might think Durant has trouble finishing through contact, but think again, folks. I mean, you can't measure desire by body type.
Now, here is George. The rebound by Harden. Durant against Kennard. And it's Durant, that time on the assist by Harden. KD's got the lead up to 11 now for Brooklyn. Batum sets the screen for George. Here he goes. Shoots over Griffin. George, no good. And so it's Harden bringing it up for the Nets. Now the pass to Mills. Johnson the screen. Shot from the low block. And the shot is long. Clippers trail by 11. George looking over the floor. Can't hit from in close.
Nothing's going his way since the horn. I mean, looks like he used up all his makes in the last quarter.
And we'll just watch the clock wind down, guys, in what will turn out to be a win here for Brooklyn.
Tonight, they did a great job of getting everyone involved. They had the good passing, and that led to some open shots.
Solid play, definitely, Kevin.
And so this is going to end up as victory number 24 on the year.
And with the victory tonight, they'll take the second game just as they took the first one between these two teams, moving their record to 2-0 with one left against Los Angeles.
And one of the key components to this victory, if not the biggest, was the incredible performance for KD.
He was doing everything right, and the points came in bunches. Definitely had the hot hand.
Harden against Bledsoe. Here is Harden. And so it's Brooklyn with the win. A confident win, and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, that was a solid performance, particularly here at home. I think they built off that edge of being here and playing with just a little more confidence than their opponent.
And we've got David Aldridge standing by on our sideline with the player of the game. David, it's all yours.
Thanks very much. Here with James Harden. James, this team adds onto its win streak. How important are nights like this as you move forward?
It was huge, man. We did an amazing job. We're continuing to get better offensively and defensively. Guys are stepping up, so we got a long way to go, but we're in the right direction.
It is not where you start, but where you finish. Congrats on the win. Back to you guys.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. As New Balance presents our player of the game, Kevin Durant.